Hello, everyone. How are you? This is Kay. Good to see you. All right, let's start the live stream. And I'm just making sure that everything's okay here on YouTube live stream. Today's the 13th in March, and it's on Friday. So happy Friday to everyone. I hope you're having a great Friday. And all right, let's get started. Seems like the markets are active in Forex pairs on my watch list. And I think today I do analysis on gold because I know lots of people are curious about gold and oil. But yeah, let me just make sure everything's okay here. Just a second, I need to set things up here quickly. All right. Okay, I start to see comments now. Thanks so much for joining. Great to see you. All right, let me see. Okay. All right. Now everything looks okay now. All right. Yeah, I'm in Dubai, still in Dubai, and I'm safe here. Thanks so much for your messages and comments. All right. If you have seen my post in TradingView community, I posted about EURAUD in February 9th, and I did again in March 11th because this pair looks to me is bearish. So after I posted this one, the market has been down, and my initial target was 1.635, but seems like it broke bearish, and it's going down to the next support level. So Euro AUD is down, and Pound AUD is also down. This is the post I did 2 days ago. Same pair, Euro AUD on a daily time frame, it's still down. So my next target is 1.5985. So basically I trade whenever the trend is happening. If there's no trends, then I never take entries. So this is a very simple mindset, but it really works well. Yeah. And it depends on which time frame you see trends. Sometimes you see range on the daily or weekly time frames, but you see trends on 1 hour time frame. In that case, I follow 1 hour time frame, and until 1 hour trend is finished. So it depends on which time frame you find the trend, you change the market and time frame that you follow. Yeah, and the price action, the candlestick patterns also do a great job for me. So I will analyze some markets today in this live stream on YouTube. All right, let me say hi to everyone. All right, Peak says, what would be another recommended indicator to use with Ichimoku? This is actually one of the most commonly asked questions, but my advice is not to combine with other indicators. Ichimoku itself is already completed and perfect by itself. So I used to actually use lots of other indicators with Ichimoku, but I found that Ichimoku alone already is perfect to just use by itself. You don't need other indicators. If you call the candlesticks as indicators, then I do look at the candlesticks and lines, support resistance lines, the trend lines, but I don't really use other indicators with Ichimoku. So yeah, and here is the market on gold. Oh, before that, let me just say hi quickly. Hello, Eric. Good to see you. All right. Elio, good to see you. Thanks for joining. And Philip, good to see you too. SPY. Sure. Let me check SPY. Definitely. All right. Helix, good to see you. And Yan, thanks for joining as well. All right. Kevin, good to see you. And Dewey, good to see you too. Thanks for joining. All right. Dinesh, good to see you too. Yep, I'm well here now. Thank you very much. All right. All right. The DJ, good to see you. He says, what is the shortest time frame one can use Ichimoku? I would say 1 hour time frame is the smallest time frame you can use. And also, when the market is not trending, do you stay away? Yes, I stay away when the market is not trending. Like EURAUD at the moment is trending, but for example, gold. Sorry, this is. I was replicating Ichimoku original chart like this. So this is just, you know, my experimenting. Ichimoku was originally, you know, built like this without candlesticks, line chart, and Kumo, Tenkan-sen, Kijun-sen. So I was kind of playing around with this way and analyzing the markets. But let me just put this back to the original, my own template. So EURAUD has been down. It's been resisted by the Tenkan-sen, the daily time frame, and so is Pound AUD. Pound AUD is also still below the Tenkan-sen, so it's bearish. I think this is very simple. But let's say when you look at the Euro USD, now Euro USD is about to break the support, but before it was ranging to me. And yeah, like for example, Euro JPY, it has been up. JPY pairs are bullish all the way until this January, if you remember. And since January, the market became range. It became just ups and downs. When you look at the 1 hour time frame, you see downtrend, uptrends, but overall on a daily time frame, this is range. Kumo is flat right now. Chikou span is very close to the candles. Tenkan-sen, Kijun-sen are flat. So this is the ranging market. So when the market's like this, when there's no trends like this, then I prefer to stay away. There are ways to take entries in this kind of conditions, and that's actually introduced in these original books of Ichimoku, and I do take entries, but my main focus is to trade on the trending markets by KTS, and I share the performance every month on YouTube as well, if you haven't checked that yet. Okay, yeah, Pound USD. Pound USD at the moment is bearish. Yeah, it broke the Kumo bearish, and now it's going down. Kumo itself is actually getting thicker and bigger. The area between Senko span B and A are getting bigger and thicker, and this means that the trend is continuous and stable. And today it's about to break the support, and once it breaks, the targets are going to be, let me draw the horizontal lines. It's always better to better for the targets to keep in mind. So the initial target is going to be 1.3182, and the ultimate target will be on the swing 1.3012. So yeah, today's Friday and the markets may be quiet towards the end of Friday. So you can come back Monday, Tuesday and look for an opportunity to sell on pound USD. And so myself, as my main focus is the trends to follow, in this case, I only look for selling opportunities. I never look for buy opportunities in this. And I can detect the trend very precisely with the help of Ichimoku 5 lines. Before I was using moving average, but moving average, I was using 2 or 3 moving averages. If you have seen my old videos on my YouTube, I explained how to capture the trending markets by 3 EMAs. But after switching to Ichimoku and mainly using Ichimoku now, I capture exactly which market to select, which market to stay away. So that's really the key. Markets are open 24 hours and they're moving with or without you 24 hours. Well, almost 24 hours, as long as brokers open in Forex. But it doesn't mean that you have opportunities in 24 hours. So you better be selective. And this is the key. So the trend's happening, and maybe it's easy for you to identify the trends now if you follow me for quite some time on my YouTube. But the next question is, so let's say if trends happening in multiple pairs at the same time, then which one to select is also the next question, the next big question. And the answer is to look for the best Kumo. Like for example, pound USD Kumo shape is like this much. I don't say that the Kumo just twisted. After Kumo twisted bearish, it has been for a few days already. And now Kijun Sen is about to exit the Kumo. So this is the trend start. And this pair is actually not bad to trade. But if you compare this market with, for example, EURAUD, EURAUD, you can see that the trend is more active and Kumo is much longer than the previous market. Or even if you look at the EURAUD that we checked earlier before, you see Kumo is even much longer and thicker than the other two pairs. So in this case, I would choose EURAUD to trade if there are opportunities in the market. But seems like EURAUD today, or for the last 2 days, since yesterday I mean, the market has been ranging. And we have a pin bar now, so this pair is now consolidating. So in terms of the trends and the momentum, I would say EURAUD looks better to trade because of the candlestick patterns. And if I look at the lower time frames like 1 hour or lower time frames, then I can capture and pinpoint exact entry and exit timings. So if you haven't checked my monthly performance video, please check after this live stream in my YouTube. Then I picked one of my entry exit examples. I share my trades live in a Discord group, and you will see that video on YouTube as well. Okay, so yeah, before I explain or do analysis on gold and oil, I get some comments. But yeah, let me just check some more comments now. Hi, Tony Gold. Good to see you. Thank you very much for joining. 100 score. That's very good. Yeah. So yeah, pound CAD is also bearish. At the moment, pound AUD is also bearish, like I mentioned before. And Swiss franc JPY has been up. It's near the resistance, but still the price is above the Tenkan Sen, so the momentum is completely bullish. I think next week or in the month of March, Swiss franc JPY will break the resistance and continues up. So I'm already looking for some opportunities to enter on this one also. When you look at the candlestick patterns and Ichimoku 5 lines situations, then you know which one to select. So like this, I can pick the trending market so easily and potential breakouts of the resistances and support. But perhaps if you are new to Ichimoku or if you are still learning Ichimoku, I think the best way, the shortcut is actually to be able to identify the ranging market. Because if it's not the ranging market, then the pair is trending or the market is trending. This is kind of a reverse psychology. I used to look for the trending markets only and I struggled. Sometimes I question myself, is this really the trending markets or not? But if I'm able to identify the ranging market, just like we saw earlier on Euro JPY, this is the ranging market example. Then if you know which one is exactly the ranging market, then that means you know which market to stay away. And once you know which market to stay away, then it becomes even more confident to not only look for and identify the trending markets, but also you become more confident to actually enter the market. So psychologically, it's very important. But if you only focus on the trending markets and which market to trade, then you see this Euro JPY, and psychologically speaking, you may also want to look for some opportunities on this one. Although this is range, and you may know that this is a ranging market, you may feel FOMO at the same time. Let's say, seems like the market is supported here, so you may want to think to buy, and hopefully the market breaks the resistance in Kumo, for example. So when you start to create the scenarios like this in a ranging market, then you not only lose the trades, but also your profit curve or your learning curve will be much slow. So we have 24 hours equally. I have 24 hours, and everybody here have 24 hours, right? Everyone has 24 hours, and that's equal. So if everybody has 24 hours, then who makes the best profit is the one who identifies the ranging market and who identifies which market is weak at the moment to trade. So time efficiency is really important for me. If, let's say, I find the trending market, but if the momentum is weak, then that means even if you enter the market, you may have to monitor for, let's say, few hours or even 1-2 days, but the market keeps ranging. So if you pick the wrong pair, then you better either, if you want to enter any markets, then it's either you want to look for the high volatility market or good momentum market, or let's say you enter the market, and if the market doesn't go anywhere after the entry, and logically you may want to just exit the trade and switch over to another market which has better momentum, for example. So again, we have 24 hours equally. So time efficiency becomes very key also to success in trading. But these things are not really shared by anyone. I think main focus for almost all the people is just to make profits. So just give me signals or just give me the best indicator, best setups, etc. But usually people really don't focus on the time efficiency part because you cannot be always right. You cannot be always profitable. That's unreal. So if you are not always profitable, then the risk management is a key. And just as risk management, time efficiency is also very important. And that's also the reason why my main focus is to trade in the trending markets. Let's say this is range. I say this is range, but yes, this is triangle. And now the price is supported by this lower part of the triangle. So you may want to buy. And hopefully if the market breaks triangle, then it goes bullish. This is from the textbook that everybody knows already, right? However, you don't see the time aspect. I mean, you never know how many days it continues to range. And even if the market breaks the range bullish this way, it may retrace and continues range. In that case, what would you do is another question. So, and to me, this ranging situation will take time to make profits than being in a trending market. And this is one of the reasons why I don't enter these kind of markets. Although there are strategies to enter this situation through Ichimoku, and I do share that in my community too, but and I do enter trades if, let's say, there are no trends, no opportunities on other markets, then I do enter the trades because after all, we're all here to make profits. But the speed to make profits is also what matters to me. So anyways, that was a bit off topic, but I think this kind of topic is really important to share. So after you start to look for the markets to trade, then also please start to think about the time efficiency part. Yeah, it's a live stream today. So although I want to talk about some specific topics, I think it's more valuable to check the comments and interact with the viewers, like in this way, so that it creates the momentum of the live stream this way. Yeah, in the video, it's more like one-way direction. So I edit the video and put the title, put the caption, and it's more shorter, like 10 minutes video you can watch just to cover 1 or 2 topics only. But in this live stream, I prefer to interact with the viewers. So yeah, depends on it's up to completely up to which way the topics are going for 1 hour in YouTube. Okay, great. Let me check some other comments now. Helix, all right. Holding trade is your edge, right? Like maintaining PF. That's true. That's true. That's another very important comment in terms of patience in trading. Yeah, if I just cover these topics one by one, then it takes like hours and hours to explain. But yeah, once you enter the market and you start to run profits, then you don't want to exit quickly. I keep holding the trade until the trend is over. So I don't set TP. I don't set take profit strategy. I do set the stop loss, but no TP. Because Ichimoku will tell me exactly when the market stops trending and exactly when I should just exit with manually or just on the stop losses. But that requires patience to do. Yeah. Hello, Tomato. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Okay. All right. Eric says, you did a great video on the Ikebe RSI indicator. Do you use the indicator with Ichimoku? Is the Ikebe indicator good to use on daily time frame? Oh yeah, that was a long time ago. I did the video on Mrs. Watanabe. And yeah, she was using RSI, but I don't use RSI. I don't. I just introduced the style of her strategies, but I never use her strategies. I use Ichimoku only to analyze the markets. And also I recorded some video series about BNF, one of the most famous and successful traders in Japan. BNF. You can watch those videos as well, and I have introduced some of his strategies. Okay, Gan says, I have been watching your video since 2020. Thank you so much for following me such a long time. Your analysis more accuracy on short selling instead of buying. Do you think why there is not accuracy on buying side? It's both ways. Both either both actually short and long can be accurate. But the point is the risk management. If you follow me for the last 5-6 years, then you should already know that the risk management is the key to success. So I do enter buy and sell, and I do make lots of profits in buying and selling both ways, and lose buying, selling both ways too. So for me, based on my experience, I don't really prefer selling over buying or vice versa. I treat buying and selling equally. It's at least in my psychology, that's equal level. All right, Mamohan, good to see you. Thanks for joining. Tomato says, Master, can we just trade using Kyushu Ashi only along with Ichimoku with hidden candlesticks? Yeah, that's possible. Yes. Kyushu Ashi is actually the simplified version of Ichimoku. Kyushu Ashi looks like this. And this is the indicator I created, and you can actually get this in my community. But Kyushu Ashi is different from all the other indicators. Kyushu Ashi is different from the candlesticks, as you can see, and different from the Heikin Ashi or Renko Ashi or Kagi Ashi or any other types of candlesticks. It captures a trend. White means the trending market, and blue means the bearish Kyushu Ashi. And there are patterns in Kyushu Ashi called B pattern and Y pattern as the trend reverse and trend continuation patterns. So technically you can trade based on Kyushu Ashi only, but in one of these books, Ichimoku Weekly book, which is this one over here. In this Ichimoku Weekly book, Kyushu Ashi was introduced. And in this book, he says, after checking the market with Kyushu Ashi, then check the candlesticks with 5 lines of Ichimoku and enter, exit the markets. So Kyushu Ashi is to capture the overall market situation. And he says you can actually trade by Kyushu Ashi alone, but it's always better to check with 5 lines and candlesticks, just for the confirmation on the market situation. Yeah, this book is actually the 3rd volume of Ichimoku, Ichimoku Weekly book, And he originally was not selling this book in public. Let me just make it in a full screen. You can see. So there are, before Ichimoku, the first volume, which talks about the 5 lines and overall Ichimoku basics. And then he wrote Ichimoku Complete book, which more into the more examples of the markets with the theories and the patterns and the philosophy, psychology. And then he decided to publish this book next. So originally he was not planning to, but yeah, there were some stories why he published this book, and maybe I will tell you in the future live videos. But yeah, this is simple, like you saw earlier in the trading view, but you cannot just trust it. I mean, Ichimoku is not really here to trust. Ichimoku is here to experiment. All right. Hi, good to see you from Philippines. Thanks for joining. All right. Lapsan, good to see you. Thanks for joining as well. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm safe. I'm staying safe here in Dubai. Thank you very much. Hello, good to see you. Good to see you. Ichimoku original charts, line charts are noiseless. Very nice, master. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, Ichimoku was originally handwritten like that way. Helix says, which pair should I definitely backtest on 1 hour time frame for a Chikou span candle break plus Tenkan-sen, Kijun-sen cross strategy you mentioned in your recent YouTube video? I recommend to backtest on Euro USD because that's a volatile market and the trends and reverse are clear than other pairs. So I recommend to try it on Euro USD. Okay. Do you have daily live trading on your group? I don't have the daily live trading group, live trading sessions, but in the Ichimoku community, I do weekly forecast on Mondays, like you used to do on Sundays, weekly forecast on YouTube. Now I'm doing this on Mondays in the community, and plus I do extra live stream whenever the trend's happening and whenever I see some opportunities. Yes. All right. Hi, good to see you from sunny London. That's great. Nifty chart. Nifty is, I think now, let me check. I checked the Nifty a while ago in the community, but let me just get to this one and the candlesticks. Oh, Nifty is now down. Okay, let me share screen again. So here's a Nifty chart, daily time frame. Until exactly on the 3rd of February, the market was bullish. I think this is the time cycles on the weekly. Yeah, I captured 18 and 26, and that was exactly the low. And after this week, on the week of the 27th of January, the market went up, but this is last buying climax. And the market did not break the resistance here. If the market would have been broken bullish, then Nifty would have been bullish continuously till today. But because it didn't break the resistance, buyers gave up. And I'm sure this is due to what's happening among the world these days. Fundamentally, the market went down and broke the Kumo bearish. So Nifty is now bearish at the moment. Daily time frame also shows bearish. You have the Kumo down, Kijun-sen, Tenkan-sen both down, and the Chikou span is below the candles. And when you look at the candlesticks, you have the pin bar breakout, and also, yeah, 1, 2, 3 soldiers. So I see the trend continuation patterns here. So this is still, we better be patient. I don't see any bullish signals yet in this market. Okay. Yeah. So basically what I'm saying here is universal. You can apply this knowledge in any markets you see. If this is Forex, I will be saying the same thing because basically my analysis is based on technical viewpoint. Okay, Dewey says, can you tell me which currency pair is the most difficult to trade for beginners? Most difficult to beginners is, I think, exotic pairs, like New Zealand pairs or Swiss franc pairs or other exotics are the most difficult because it's highly volatile and sometimes it can be very choppy, fake breakouts, and spread is also very wide, usually. So I recommend not to trade exotics until you get used to trading. Even after you get used to trading, you can just avoid these pairs to trade. All right. Hello, everyone. Good to see you. Okay, let me check some comments from others. Okay, let me check Nasdaq now. As per request, Nasdaq, here is the daily time frame. Daily looks to be range completely, but it's more like a bearish trend. Here, I focus on the Chikou span. Chikou span is a yellow line in my color setting, which is lagging 26 candles before, as you may know. So Chikou span touching the candlesticks means that this means, to make the long story short, buyers and sellers in equilibrium at the moment. So when Chikou span is touching, usually the momentum is very low. You don't really see any move to the next. So I would wait for the Chikou span to break the candlesticks. And this is one of the uniquenesses of Ichimoku, is that even if it's a ranging market, the price level will be the same. Let's say tomorrow, the market, or on Monday, today's Friday, so technically on next Monday or Tuesday, even if the market is on the same level, the situation becomes different. If you only look at the candlesticks, then you don't notice this. But when you have the Chikou span, then Chikou span will break the candlesticks on Monday. Because at the moment, Chikou span is here. It's hidden behind the candlesticks. But if I just click on the Chikou span, then you see that the Chikou span is now here. Can you see? Chikou span is on or behind the candlesticks now. So even if the market goes sideways, Chikou span most likely will close below the candlesticks unless the market turns bullish next week. Then Chikou span will touch the candlesticks and now becomes range again. But tomorrow, if the market becomes the same level like this, let's say candlesticks like this, and if it becomes doji, for example, like this way, then Chikou span closes below the candlesticks. And on Tuesday, let's say we have another doji, but Chikou span remains below the candlesticks. And this indicates that this is bearish at that time. So when you see, this is just one of the millions of examples or scenarios. But when I see pin bar or doji on Monday, Tuesday, then I would wait for the breakout bearish to sell. Or if you want to buy, then I would wait for the Chikou span to close above the candlesticks. That's a signal to buy. If you have checked the, if you have viewed that Chikou span breakout strategy I introduced in one of the videos on YouTube, then you know that the Chikou span breakout is one of the signals to enter the market. So today, the best approach is to do nothing. Let's see how the Chikou span closes on Monday and Tuesday. So yeah, like introduced on the Ichimoku part 1 to 5 video series long time ago, I mentioned about the decaying, like wine. You put the wine here on the desk, and the wine itself is still there. It's not moving. It's not, changing the positions. It's still there. But after, let's say 1 month or half a year, 1 year, wine bottle looks the same, but the inside quality changes. And that's what you see from Chikou span, well, actually 5 lines, Ichimoku perspective. And that's why time is really important in Ichimoku, in trading, than the vertical price levels. So we focus on the time axis, horizontal axis a lot in Ichimoku. And Chikou span breakout, in this case, is one of the examples. I know this kind of way to view the markets kind of unique, and maybe you haven't checked the markets like in this way before. So it takes time to get used to it, but hopefully you get to see the power of it one day. And that's actually my mission on this YouTube. All right. Hello, Taran. Good to see you. Welcome back. After a long time, good to see you. Okay, I do lots of comments before already, so let me just pick some comments now. Okay. Okay, I see one comment. Hello, Master K. Good morning. I have a question for do you still use the wave projections on your trades, or is that older style of your trading? I do look at the wave perspective. Yes, I do look at it still. Yeah, wave analysis is one of the most important important components of Ichimoku. So I do look at it. Yes. All right. Yeah, Taran, regarding the community question, can you please let me know by email, or if you're the former GTA students, then you can message me by WhatsApp. Then I can guide you how to join. Okay, let's see. X Sky says, Mr. K, which time frame you mostly use to verify when the trend is ending or you should exit? It's either daily or 4-hour time frames. It's either one of these time frames. I check to see if the trend is over or not. Again, you can actually check my monthly performance video, and my trading performance video in February is coming up soon, so you will see that video on YouTube later. But for now, you can watch my monthly performance video on January or last year, and you will see how I exit the trade or how I capture the end of the trend. Okay, let me see. Okay, let me now check gold, because I know lots of people are curious about the gold and where it's moving towards. So here's commodity and XAU USD. And here is a daily time frame. I was seeing that the market has been supported by the trend line, but now, yesterday actually, the market broke the trend line bearish. So when the trend is not working anymore, I simply delete it. I don't keep the lines so that the chart keeps clean this way. And to me, this is now bullish simply because the Chikou span is above the candlesticks, and the price is above Kijun Sen and the Kumo. But the moment when I see either the Chikou span touches the candlesticks next week, or when the price breaks the Kijun Sen bearish, when I see either one of these or both, then I would say it becomes a range. Then I wouldn't enter the market. I wouldn't even look for opportunities to trade. But seems like it's bullish to me because it has been on the bullish inner waves before. And it seems like this is in the middle of the bullish inner wave so far. So momentum still bullish to me. But if the market breaks the Kijun Sen and the previous low, then that means it becomes bearish in the wave and the market becomes range. That's a daily analysis. And let me also check the weekly time frame. Weekly time frame has been bullish. This is also the power of Ichimoku, that you can see that it has been nicely supported by the Tenkan-sen. The blue line is called Tenkan-sen, which represents a short-term market participants' mean level of the market. But it has been supported by the Tenkan-sen. So this means that the short-term participants, short-term buyers, based on the weekly time frame, has been supporting the market to go up. And once the market closes below the Tenkan-sen, that means when the short-term market participants on the weekly time frame is now turning into sellers. And then usually it gets back to the Kijun Sen. But so far, it's above the Tenkan-sen. It has been nicely supported all the way ever since the market broke the Tenkan-sen bullish on last January 2025. It never broken the Tenkan-sen bearish, right? So this is also why it's important to check the weekly or sometimes even the monthly time frames, because you get to see this. When you only look at 1 hour, then you think this is ranging market or this is now becoming bearish. So you may want to sell. But based on the weekly time frame, you know that it's bullish. So even if you sell now, it may become a fake entry. So in this case, I still look to buy. I am bullish biased so far on gold. Okay, yeah, Ichimoku lagging is a bug or feature. That's a feature. That's a feature of Ichimoku. Okay, Tomato says, does Kusui Ashi works in sideways market or it's only good when market is trending? It works on sideways too. There's a way to check Kusui Ashi in a sideways market. Yes. Okay, all right. I think that's about it for today. Thank you very much, everyone. So today's Friday, 13th. Looks like the markets are becoming a bit quiet now. So no rush. If you don't have any opportunities, then it's always good to be brave to stay away from the market. It's kind of funny to say, you know, to be brave, to be away from the market. And that's because we are always here to make profits. We're always here to look for opportunities to make profits in the markets. And that's completely normal. I don't say looking for opportunity is bad or making profits always is bad. Of course, we're here to make profits. I'm here also to make profit. Otherwise, I will never do this business. So because we look for opportunities here to look for entries and to look for profits, that's why it's important to be brave to stay away. You cannot always keep running your engine 24 hours to look for opportunities. Then you will feel exhausted or you may be tired. You may have some sleep problems like I did before. And I don't want you to do that. So always be healthy. Maintain your healthy mindset. That's the bottom line of trading. Personality is different among the people. So my personality will be different from yours. But I think mental health is really important. So if you want to become a trader, then I don't recommend to quit the job quickly. That was also one of my mistakes. I quit the job too quickly because I became confident, overconfident to become full-time trader. And after becoming full-time trader, I continue to lose the markets because I was looking for opportunities only 24 hours. I was too aggressive. It wasn't fitting my style. And it was very frustrating. And I don't want you to repeat the same problem, same situation again. So I would say no rush. I'm saying no rush to protect your own psychology, because I think this is applicable to anything you do, whether it's sports or music or anything. When you're relaxed, then that's when you perform the most. And same is true in trading. If you are not here to aggressively look for opportunities to make profits, and when you are completely relaxed and you follow strategy, you have to have a strategy to follow. You have to have rules when to enter, exit the trades, and you have to have discipline to follow continuously. But at the same time, you relax, right? Your mental has to be relaxed. And then you make profits in the long run. But you know that discipline, rules, structure is important. But if you put this focus in a way just to make profits every time, then let's say when you start to lose, you may be discouraged, or you may be frustrated, or you may blame the strategy or anything. And that's not relaxed mind. So that's why I think it's better to start small. The money that is okay to lose, like let's say $1,000 or $10,000, whatever you feel it's safe, you start with a small amount. Then you don't really care about the results so much. But it becomes easier to follow the rules in that way. And it becomes easier to be disciplined that way, because you're not stick to the profits every time. I hope you get this idea. It's kind of difficult to verbalize, but I'm trying here. And then sooner, once you realize, then you see your performance. You see positive performance every month or every year, for example. So yeah, that was just the conclusion of today's live stream. Just relax, and markets are just moving with or without you. So sometimes, you have losing days, losing weeks, but just continue, keep going. And as long as you don't give up, then eventually you will make profits. And that's my lesson. So yeah, again, thank you very much, everyone. I hope you have a great Friday, great weekend from tomorrow, and hope to see you again soon. And to those who are Ichimoku community members, I will do another live stream in a few minutes, so I will see you there too. So thank you very much. Until I see you next time, please stay healthy, stay safe, and stay gold. Mata ne. Thank you.